Okay, welcome back everyone. This should be part 8 of our tutorial. In today's episode, it might be a bit long and it might be a bit messy. I did not actually do this beforehand, so we're going to kind of figure it out together. It'll be fun. The first thing we're going to want to do, so our first goal is in our game function. I'm going to close everything else. This is going to be our structure of our dictionary. Okay, so we have the seed, we have the time left, and we have the stage. So essentially, every time we plant something, so this is our plant, every time we plant it, we have the timer. We're going to ask for the stage, we're going to ask for the time left in the timer, and then we're going to save that in our dictionary. Okay, so to do that, what we're going to want to do is basically we're going to, there's a few things we're going to want to open. We're going to have a fert. We're going to open our dirt and our plant. So, not the dirt tile set, just the plot of dirt. There we go. So we have a plot of dirt, and basically when we add, so at the moment we only have one seed, which is fine. What I'll do, I'm going to close all this, open, what is this guy? It is called a plant. Okay, so I'll change this plant to corn. Change it to corn. I'm gonna have to change in a few spots over here. Corn. Rename this to corn. I'm gonna rename that to corn. Corn. There we go. Okay, and then every time I add this piece of corn to it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into game. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to go into the corn, and whenever, here we go, variable. So we'll create a variable called seed, plant number, plant num. And what this will do is it'll tell us the reference of which seed we're referring to. So let's say our plot currently is plot 0. That's how we refer to the first one. There's no plot 1 because we didn't add that yet, right? So we're going to want to add that. So we're going to take this, go into our plant. Not our plant. Let's actually change this as well. Rename it to corn. Let's close it all. Go back to our corn. So every time I plant the corn, what I'm going to want to do is in our ready function, we're going to add that dictionary. So game.plot plus equals array of a dictionary. Right? So we're adding this dictionary into our array. So the seed is going to be corn. The time left will be 10. Actually, what we'll do here is we'll do timer dot time left. Stage will be stage, right? This guy. And yeah, that's it. And now what we'll do, and so now what we've done is open the game file. We've added a dictionary to our array every time I add corn. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print game.plot. And now I'm going to have to save and load the game because I'm going to delete all this because I've added a new variable into our dictionary. So let's try loading it. And we've saved and loaded it, so nothing's there. Let's reload it again. Now, if I plant something, it'll print out what we have. Let's go back, print out a few things, and now let's close it. Ooh, I actually might not have saved it, have I? Let's print game.plot. I don't think I did, so we're gonna have to actually do that. Down here, we will utils.save. We'll delete this print. And then launch it again. Oh, okay, I did save it. I don't know where, but I did save it. So now we have our dictionary here with a bunch of seeds that we planted. Okay, so there's a few things we still have to edit in our actual seed. The first thing we're going to want to do is update like what's happening here. So every time I add to the plot, I want to get our variable, not variable, plant num equals to game.plot.size. So what this will do is check the size of the plot that we have and make it equal to the plant num. So we're going to actually want to do this before, because what happens here is the size is not the exact same as the plant number. So let's say we have to, let's say in this one, we want to refer to the first one. This first one would be referred to as 0, right? Not 1. Because if we only had one seed in our dictionary, the size would be equal to 1, right? So if I have 0, if my dictionary is completely empty, it would say plant num is equal to 0 and then add 1. So now we can refer to plant num as 0, right? Okay, next thing we're going to do is in our process function, we're going to want to update the stage every time something happens. So actually, one thing we can do is we can update the stage in the timeout. So game.plot.plant num dot, what do we want to refer to? The stage, which I think we do by doing this. Stage equals stage. Hopefully that is an error. Okay, now let's give it a try. And then actually, after that, we'll do utils.save game. All right, let's give it another try. So I'm going to plant it, and it should save it. And then I'm going to wait for it to grow a little bit. Awesome. I'm going to close it. And now when I load, yeah, there we go. We have seed corn, stage 6, time left, 0. Now what we'll do is in our timer, we'll do wait time equals to 10. And in our process function, what we're going to do is do the same thing. However, we're going to do timer dot time left, and then in here, timer. Accidentally closed the files on the side. Okay, so essentially we're going to refer to the plant number that we just added. We're going to get the timer, right? Oh no, sorry, time left. And then we're going to make it equal to time left, right? So the reason we're doing this is because when I close our game, I want to be able to find that seed that I had before, right? Another thing we're going to do is 6. If we do reach 6, what we're actually going to do is game.plot minus equals No, we're actually not going to worry about removing the array for now. We're just going to worry about loading it. Okay, so now what should happen is I'm going to add something. I'm going to wait like a few seconds because the timer is very long. It's 10 seconds now. So I'll actually wait until it grows one stage, and then I'll close it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm impatient. I'm going to close it. Now, if I load it, here we go. Time left 6 seconds. It was on stage 1. It was time left 6 seconds. So the reason why it's actually taking longer on the first one is because the first stage, yeah, the frame is already equal to 1. What you can do is actually just make the stage equal to 1 automatically, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Okay, next thing we're going to want to do in our world, now we want to be able to load that seed, right? So we have the seed, here it is, or the dictionary with our seed or stage or time left. Now we want to be able to load that if there is something in there. So what we'll actually do to reduce errors is I'm going to save and load. And then I'm actually going to now delete this. I want our plot to always be empty. Okay, so now we go back to our world. We go to our dirt container. We're going to make a script for it. Save. And in this script, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go to our dirt. I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to go to dirt container, copy it over, and we're not going to worry about this just yet, but we'll use it in a second. So now we're going to add our ready function. And what we'll do is if game.plot.size is bigger than 0, we're going to want to add some things to our dirt, right? So we'll actually make this 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, if our size is bigger than 0, which means we have something in there, what we're going to do is we're going to get child game dot, no, we're going to actually for loop for I in this thing. There we go. Now what we do is we'll print it. Okay, so what's happening here is we're checking for the size. If we have one seed, let's say we have one seed, that means 1 is greater than 0. So we're going to enter. And now we're going to for loop in our array, right? And for every seed that we have, or every plant that we have planted, we're going to essentially add a plant into our dirt plots here, right? So we have 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to get child, right? Because in order to get the proper child, we get child by counting down. So get child I would actually be, what we'll do to make this easier is we'll start counting from 0, actually. So I'm going to rename all these. I'm actually just going to duplicate. So now we have 7. So we start from 0 and go to 6, right? Because I will start at 0. So it'll go 0 and then 1. It won't go to 1, but it'll go to 0, right? So it'll start at 0, get child 0, which is dirt 0, and then we're going to add to it. So we can actually just copy this, and instead of get node, we'll get child, and then we'll add that plant in there. So we don't need, what we can do actually is we can add this just in case. And then we'll take that out. Okay, now let's check if this works. So if I load, nothing should happen because there's no seed. If I put it in, I'm going to wait a second. I'm going to close it. I'm going to load it. Oh, that's interesting. I must be saving and loading again. Yeah. Okay. One more time. I'm just going to close it right away. And we have our seed. There it is. Time left, 9 seconds. Let's go back. And boom, there it is. There's our 1 seed. Now let's see if it works with 2 seeds. Or 3 seeds, I suppose. Okay, so it didn't work. So let's go back to our dirt container and see what's going on here. Get mine.child. What is happening? 1. The position isn't right. Okay, so there's a few problems. The plant position is going to have to be equivalent to the get child position. That's one thing. Okay, let's try that actually. I think that was the only issue. Okay, what's going on here? Let's go to remote. Okay, so that one has one. That one does not. Okay, let's take this out. Oops. And try one more time. Oops, what's going on here? That one. Child. Let's try one more time. Okay, oh, I see what's happening. Okay, we're out of range now. Okay, let's save and load. Let's load again. Let's add 2. So we should only. All right, I'm back. I just figured it out. It took me a little bit. Basically, a few things I've added and changed. Okay, so the position, we can take it out completely. Reason being because every time we add the child, it'll get that child and add it on that position. So the position, we don't have to change. It adds it onto it, on top of it, which is perfect. Next thing I'm doing is I'm actually duplicating the current array we have because I don't want to pop that one while I'm adding them. So I duplicate it and I for loop between it, because if I'm popping it while I'm adding it, it causes problems. So I duplicate it here. I use that size to for loop through it. And then every time I add one, I'm going to pop the current one that I'm adding, right? So let's say I have an array of 1, 2, 3, right? And then my duplicate is 1, 2, 3. I'm going to, um, this is original. And down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1. So I'm going to add this one. I'm going to remove this. And then I'm going to add this one, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add this one, and then I'm going to remove this. So now our original array, game.plot, is completely empty. And we've added all 3 of our plants. The reason being because every time we add a corn or a plant, it adds again to that plot, right? So it's adding to it. So that's why we're doing it that way. And another issue I came across was the plant number, right? So every time I was adding to it, what was happening was the plant num was essentially going forward. So what was happening is we had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here's our duplicate and here's our original. What was happening is I was adding 1, it would take that one and add it over here, and it would have it equal to number 4, right? Plant num would be equal to number 4. And another issue I had was instead of removing from the duplicate, what was happening was it would take this one, it would add the first one, and then it would pop this one. So it would take out 1 and then add it over here, right? And then it would take out this one, and then it would add it over here. So now what was happening is I would get an array of 1, 1, 1, right? So every plant we added ended up being 1, 1, 1. You can kind of test it yourself and see what was happening. But the reason why I changed it is so this, now I've added a new line, a new line of code that says plant num equals -1. So I've set the original plant number equal to -1. So this is an error. It's not technically supposed to be -1. So if it is -1, then we change it. This essentially is checking if we're adding a new seed to our array, right? It's not that we're loading it, it's that it's a new seed completely. It means we've loaded the game, and now we're playing the game, and we are now adding a new seed, right? So that's what this is checking for, right? But what's happening in our plot dirt container is if we set it to I, so anywhere from 0 to the size of our original array, so 3, for example, if we have 3 seeds, then that it'll set it to 1, 2, or 3, right? So now we have the proper reference for our array, if that makes sense. I'm not sure why this took me forever for the stage. So this is something I did off screen. I was supposed to help you guys do a bit. So let's take that out for now. So now we have the plant num. We can take out has seed. We don't need that. So this should work right here. So what we have right here should work. And we want to make sure that we save the game every time we add something. So I'm going to load the game. I have nothing in my array. I'm going to play, add 2, and I'm going to close it, play, and we have them saved right here. We have the time left, right? They're both different. Go back here, we play, and it adds it, right? However, we want this guy, right? We want to make sure that we set the stage equal to the save stage that we have selected. I'm not sure why, but if you don't have int, if you're not converting it to an integer, I'm not sure why, but it errors. I suppose the stage number is not saved as a number, it's saved as something else. So you're gonna have to convert it into an integer, which is fine. And then for the time left, we're gonna do the same thing. Timer dot time left. I believe that is timer. And then we're gonna edit time left to the time left. I don't remember what I saved it as. I saved it as time left, this one. All right, so now we're setting the time left as well. So the timer.time left also changes, right? What we can do is that we can actually comment that out. I also had to comment out the plant.frame equals 1. I don't think it's necessary because we're matching it anyways. So you can take those both out, and this is what our ready function should now look like. Yeah, that's it. So now if I play the game, we loaded I printed it out. Here's our seeds. I play, and we get an error. Why is that? Because it's not an integer, it's a float. I believe that works. Okay, it's not a float. What is it? Let me take this out completely. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's comment this out. Let's comment that out completely. Let's play, and let's wait until it changes to stage number 2, and then we'll load and see that the stage works. 10 seconds is a long time if you're just sitting here. Means it's add one more for fun. Okay, this feels like it's not working for some reason. Let's take a look at the remote. Dirt container. Corn. Is it working? That's strange. Oh, I know why. Because the timer is not on auto start, so it never started. Haha. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, so yeah, time was just 0. That makes sense. Let's. I'm going to test this while we wait for it to grow. I want to print out the time left. Okay, so it should be. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Let's close that. Okay, so now you can see it saves the stage, right? So it loaded it in the proper stage. Okay, let's see. What is this? Printed it out. Want the timer dot time left. Let's go into the seed. Wait time, not time left. Okay. Go to world. Whoops. Wait time. Let's see what happens if I just try to do this. Actually, I'll try to convert it to a float first, just in case. Okay, still doesn't work. Let's see, timer. Wait time in seconds. Okay, what we can do, let's go to plot of dirt. Let's go here. What we'll do instead is we'll convert it to an int, and we're also going to round it. No error. Okay, awesome. Let's try loading it. Okay. All right, I'll figure this out later. We will do this next video. So we'll fix the wait time next video. And next video, we will also be adding UI to plant different seeds. This video was a bit messy, but things are getting a bit complicated, but I hope you learned something along with me. Next time, I will prepare a bit more, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and like. I'll see you guys next time.